What attracted you to Spencer Tracy?
His sense of humor. Had a wonderful sense of humor.
Did you know that the ones who dazzled us on screen might have kept their true selves locked away throughout the golden age of Hollywood? Hollywood has always quietly accepted and supported gay and lesbian lifestyles behind the scenes within the industry, but when it came to the public, the situation was very different. Celebrities had to go to great lengths to keep their true identities hidden from the public eye, often leading double lives to maintain their image. In those times, being open about sexuality was not an option. The stress of meeting societal expectations was huge, and the fear of losing careers, endorsements, and personal relationships was real. Being true to themselves could mean the end of their careers. Imagine how pressurized their life would have been. How far did these stars go without letting the world know about their secrets? And most importantly, who were the ones who had a different identity apart from what the public saw? How about we take a quick journey back in time to the golden age of Hollywood and find out about the ones whose sexuality was locked away? Let's take a look at the 22 stars who took Hollywood cinematic history to the best while keeping their secrets throughout their career. Number 22, Cesar Romero. Cesar Romero, the most famous and handsome guy of the golden age with a handsome smile and a towering height of 6'3", has caught all our hearts with his brilliance in acting. This Cuban-American actor appeared on the silver screen along with stars like Marlene Dietrich and Carole Lombard. He was also a lifelong best friend to actress Joan Crawford. Romero was best known for his incredible acting as the Joker in the original TV version of Batman, which was released in the year 1966. Well, there was something that wasn't well known about Romero. What do you think it would be? Yes, it's about his sexuality. Romero was open and out about his sexuality among his colleagues and friends within the industry, but he kept his sexuality a secret from the public throughout his entire career. Number 21, Carrie Grant. Carrie Grant is recognized as a prominent actor and a good-looking person in the Hollywood industry. The British-American actor is known for his incredible acting in His Girl Friday and North by Northwest.
Do you intend to cooperate with us? I'd like a simple yes or no.
A simple no. For the simple reason I simply don't know what you're talking about.
He was seen as a ladies' man because he married 5 times, and all 5 were failed marriages. But according to the documentary, Women He's Undressed, which is Ori Kelly, an Australian costume designer's memoir written by Catherine Thompson, Carrie Grant is described as bisexual. The documentary also reveals that Grant was an actor who was forced to hide his sexuality in order to fit into the homophobic Hollywood society, and was in a 3-decade on and off relationship with Ori Kelly. Kelly used to get upset about Grant's liking towards blonde women, and this has led to a lot of arguments between the couple. Even though Grant looks like a nice person, it is said that he is an abusive guy. He even threw Kelly out of a moving vehicle during a heated argument between them. That's cruel, right? No matter what the argument is, abuse is not a solution for everything. Other than Kelly, rumor says that he had an intimate relationship with another actor, Randolph Scott, who was Grant's roommate for many years. Number 20, Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson was an American heartthrob during his time in Hollywood. He captivated his audiences with his incredibly good looks and impressive performances, and he always worked hard to hide his true identity from the public. But his life changed entirely when the Confidential magazine threatened to expose his homosexuality. To cover this from the public, he married his secretary, Phyllis Gates, but the marriage did not last as Phyllis was aware of Hudson's true sexuality, and the two parted their ways after 3 years. After a few years post-divorce, in 1962, Hudson met a handsome stockbroker, Lee Garlington, with whom he shared a good long relationship.
We were ordered never to have our picture taken together because somebody would know that we were gay.
Did you know that Hudson's story was included in a Netflix series? His story was included in Ryan Murphy's 2020 series called Hollywood. In 1984, Hudson was diagnosed with HIV, and he tried his best to hide the news from the public. But the news came out, and Rock became the first celebrity to have AIDS.
Actor Rock Hudson has acquired immune deficiency syndrome.
It was everything kind of wrapped up in one. It was Hollywood and the closet and the fact that Rock had lived his life not able to express who he was. And it had come to that.
Unfortunately, Hudson died from AIDS complications in 1985.
President Reagan said today that Rock Hudson would always be remembered for his humanity. And on hearing of his death, the House of Representatives agreed to double the amount of AIDS funds for research next year. There will now be $190 million.
Number 19, Ramon Navaro. This handsome man, Ramon Navaro, is known for playing the title role in the 1925 version of Ben-Hur and was a main guy in the silent film era. The Mexican-born Navaro quickly caught the attention and earned a place among the rising stars of Hollywood. He was struggling behind the camera with his life to express his love towards men because of his Catholic upbringing. This made him take up alcoholism to ease his inner pain. He even started to hire hustlers in secret to have a change from his lonely life. But unfortunately, this hiring of hustlers led to his death.
The actor came to a very sad end, murdered by, I believe, a couple of male prostitutes. And as a result of the loss of his life, he's become kind of a martyr, if you like.
What role might the hustlers have played in Navaro's death? Well, he hired two young brothers, Paul and Tom Ferguson, to come to his house, and the brothers tortured and killed Navaro for his money. These brothers were later convicted, imprisoned, and paroled. His sexuality was revealed after his death, and the public was shocked upon hearing the news. Tired of expensive, low-effort scriptwriters for your YouTube channel? Autoscripter.ai is the ultimate solution. Say goodbye to low-quality, poorly retention amateur scripts that fail to generate thousands of views for your channel. At a fraction of the cost, Autoscripter.ai helps your videos go viral. In just 3 steps, Autoscripter.ai creates a polished script tailored to your needs. Just input your title concept, select your tone and style. The intuitive interface makes editing and refining effortless, fast, smart, and trusted by hundreds of satisfied users who have already discovered the amazing tool. Start your free trial today and watch Autoscripter.ai transform your YouTube channel. Just click the link in the video description below now. Number 18, Montgomery Cliff. Montgomery Cliff made his name from the films A Place in the Sun and From Here to Eternity. Cliff struggled with substance abuse, and his entire life and career changed with a car crash that led to permanent injuries. In 2018, the documentary Making Montgomery Cliff, co-directed by his nephew Robert Cliff, along with his wife Hillary, revealed that Cliff's mother knew about his sexuality from a young age. Also in 2000, Elizabeth Taylor also admitted publicly that he was gay during the GLAAD Media Awards. Number 17, Tab Hunter. Tab Hunter is an extraordinary actor who started his acting career at the age of 17. He was often cast as the soldier and an object of leading ladies' affections. His popularity among young female fans was one of the main reasons why he kept his sexuality a secret. And of course, unlike today, Hollywood was not ready to accept homosexuality in those times. But a magazine called Confidential exposed an arrest in Tabb's past for lewdness, which meant showing any signs of homosexuality in public. This allegation was dismissed by his movie studio, and the public quickly forgot about them. Tabb hid the secret throughout his career, but he later opened up about his relationship with fellow actor Anthony Perkins in a 2005 memoir, Tabb Hunter Confidential. Number 16. Rudolph Valentino. Rudolph Valentino was an Italian-born American actor who was idolized as the great lover of the 2020s silent film era. Rumors about his sexuality darkened his fame. His first marriage with John Aykroyd ended on their wedding night. John was actually a lesbian, and she left Rudolph to live with her lover. But rumors spread that Rudolph was gay and that he couldn't live with his wife because of that. Despite the rumors, Rudolph married for the second time to Natasha Rambova, which didn't last long either. People were always keen to check on his close relationships with men, mainly the French actor Jean Acle, to find out whether or not he was homosexual. Even famous authors and biographers began to dig the truth through their research. Emily Lader and Alan Ellenberg, two biographers, always agreed that Valentino was most likely to be straight, but documents from the estate of the author Samuel Stewart pointed out that Jean and Rudolph were sexual partners. Valentino always denied being gay, but his mannerisms were quite the opposite. He made a lot of effort to prove his masculinity, yet he was always seen as a homosexual guy due to the rumors spread around. Number 15. Katharine Hepburn. Katharine Hepburn is an iconic Hollywood actress and Academy Award-winning performer.
But, darling, you're wrong about your dad. He does care. He cares deeply.
I'm afraid of him.
Well, he's afraid of you, so you should get along fine.
No, he won't. And you know why? Because he doesn't care. He is a selfish son of a...
In films like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, The Lion in Winter, and On Golden Pond. According to the author Scotty Bowers, Katharine is a woman with an insatiable appetite for women. Bowers shared an amusing instance of a request from Hepburn. When you get a chance, would you mind finding a sweet young dark-haired girl for me? Someone who isn't too heavily made up? Over 5 decades, Bowers and Hepburn became good friends, and Bowers claimed that she produced over 150 different women for Katharine. She also said that Katharine was inconsistent and would only see each girl once or twice before getting tired of them. However, Hepburn's studio promotes the idea that she and her co-star Spencer Tracy were in a romantic relationship.
What attracted you to Spencer Tracy?
His sense of humor. He had a wonderful sense of humor, a remarkable memory. And I mean, what attracted me to Spencer Tracy is, what? Magic.
But according to accounts, they actually shared a strong friendship. Screenwriter and gay rights advocate Larry Kramer commented on the well-known duo, stating that Hepburn and Tracy were both gay. He mentioned that the studio had paired them publicly and added that everyone in Hollywood was aware of this, although he had not seen it documented anywhere. Number 14. Marlene Dietrich. If you go weak at the knees at the sight of a woman in a suit, you have Marlene Dietrich to thank for it. She was the one who wore pants and tuxes on the silver screen at a time when it was unfashionable and changed the way women thought about pants forever. She lived fearlessly and was well known for her sexuality. Dietrich had relationships with Kay Francis, Edith Piaf, Mercedes de Acosta, and even Greta Garbo.
Don't do anything foolish. When are we leaving? I wish I knew.
I suppose as soon as Captain Harvey comes down. If he's up there, he may never come down.
Dietrich's daughter, Maria Riva, opened up more about her mother's sexuality in the year 1992. Even though the star remained married to film producer Rudolph Sieber, Riva revealed that her mother had relationships with men to control and manipulate them, and her relationships with women were fulfilling for her. Critics were hesitant to classify Dietrich as bisexual. Kenneth Tynan once remarked, "Dietrich has sex without gender." Number 13, Greta Garbo. The most beautiful woman in the world, Greta Garbo was legendary for her expressive face, her need for privacy, and her sexuality. During her lifetime, it was never quite clear how she landed on the LGBTQ+ spectrum, but history remembers her as being distinctly queer. She played a bit of lovers ping pong with Mercedes de Acosta, who would run into Marlene Dietrich's arms whenever Garbo discarded her. Writer Diana McClellan researched for her book and found that Garbo's life had passionate relationships with mostly women, except her well-publicized attachment to John Gilbert. Some of the women she wrote love letters to during her life included Swedish actress Mimi Pollock, who was her childhood friend, and of course writer Mercedes de Acosta. McClellan also found a few pieces of evidence that indicated Garbo had a relationship with Marlene Dietrich when Garbo was 19. Number 12, Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford is mostly recognized for her ankle-strap shoes, enlarged shoulder pads, and drinking 100 proof vodka. Joan was always considered a man-eater, but apparently she was bisexual, and this came into the limelight only after her death. The public was shocked to learn that she had affairs with Barbara Stanwyck, Marilyn Monroe, Martha Ray, and Marion Morgan. Despite the mystery around her romantic life, Joan Crawford remains a fascinating figure, remembered not only for her iconic roles, but also for the way she helped to change Hollywood.
We have retired you from the board of directors.
You drove Al Steele to his grave, and now you're trying to stab me in the back? Forget it! I fought worse monsters than you for years in Hollywood. I know how to win the hard way.
Miss Crawford, we don't want any hard feelings.
You don't know what hard feelings are.
Number 11, Patsy Kelly. Patsy Kelly could be recognized for her roles playing the sassy best friend in 1930s comedies like The Girl from Missouri and Merrily We Live.
Just a moment. What's the matter for you? Of course,
Come on.
Now, just a moment, please.
Kelly was open about her sexuality, and she used to talk about her homosexuality during her career from the 30s and 40s. Hats off to Kelly for being courageous enough to tell the public that she was homosexual, unlike many other actors and actresses in the industry. She told magazines that she was living with her girlfriend and never planned on marriage. Kelly also had a relationship with actress Tula Bankhead, who is also very open about her attraction to both men and women. She remained in a supporting role throughout her career due to her openness about her sexuality. But today, she has a strong following in the cult classic movie community and is one of the most prominent examples of a celebrity being openly homosexual in early Hollywood. Number 10, Tula Bankhead. Tula Bankhead was a bold and energetic actress who became famous of her work on stage and in the movies.
Listen, how come you know the lingo so well? And how come when I climbed into this lifeboat, you were the only one in it, all dressed up like you knew you were going someplace?
I was going someplace. I was going into a lifeboat. What is this? Are you insinuating?
You seem pretty anxious to stand up for your friend here.
What do you mean, my friend?
She is known for her lively and outgoing personality. She loved being the center of attention and lived life on her own terms. Tula enjoyed challenging social norms, often shocking people with her daring behavior, sharp wit, and free-spirited lifestyle. Whether performing on stage, mingling at parties, or speaking her mind, she pushed boundaries in ways that made her unforgettable.
Oh, you're in love. For the first time?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Well, then how do you know? How can you be sure of it? You've nothing to compare it with.
Well, I don't know what to say, Your Majesty. It's... I just have a feeling which...
Describe that feeling.
Your Majesty, I don't exactly know how to put it into words.
Describe it, I command it.
Like Patsy Kelly, she ignored the conventions of her time and marched to the beat of her own drum. Apart from Kelly, she had some of her intimate nights with Mercedes de Acosta, as well as Greta Garbo, Hope Williams, and Barbara Stanwyck. Number 9, Lizabeth Scott. Lizabeth Scott, an actress who was called a poor man's Lauren Bacall. She was an attractive blonde bombshell with a smoky voice and stellar acting skills, similar to the legendary Bacall herself.
He asked me a lot of questions, mostly about you.
Not me.
About you and me.
Yeah?
He kept asking me if I knew why you came here. He asked me that a couple of times.
What else?
Oh, a lot of questions I forget.
Remember.
My head's mixed up.
I mean, the photo itself shows how beautiful she is. However, she topped being just an alternate version of someone else. Her unique style and elegance placed her far above her peers in the film industry. Unfortunately, her career was cut short because of a piece of news about her in Confidential magazine in 1954. The magazine accused her of being an atypical with a fondness of baritone babes, a euphemism for lesbians at the time. Even though Scott sued the magazine, she has never been able to recover from the stain marked by the magazine on her reputation, and her career came to an end with this. Number 8, Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando was considered the other half of James Dean and was openly bisexual. In 1976, he told a French journalist that homosexuality is so much in fashion, it no longer makes sense. He also mentioned that he had homosexual experiences like a large number of men and he wasn't ashamed of it. Although Brando was quite open about his sexuality, he claimed that he never had a relationship with James Dean in his memoir, Songs My Mother Taught Me.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody. Instead of a bum, which is what I am. Let's face it.
Number 7, Ruby Dandridge. Ruby Dandridge is not really popular in the film industry like her daughter, Dorothy Dandridge. Ruby still appeared in huge films such as King Kong, Cabin in the Sky, Dead Reckoning, and The War Against Mrs. Hadley.
Did you know Ann Roberts?
Oh, yes, sir. I certainly did.
Well, Ann Roberts is Rosemary Walsh.
Mr. Judge, Your Honor, I ask you, can you figure out what he's saying? How can Ann Roberts be Rosemary Walsh when she's Ann Roberts?
Ruby Dandridge eventually left her husband after she had her 2 daughters and moved in with Genevieve Williams. Writers of that time considered Williams as her lifelong companion, although it is difficult to define this relationship definitively. While the family relocated to Los Angeles in 1929, Williams helped to raise the daughters as Dandridge resumed her acting career. Number 6, James Dean. Most of the reports say that James Dean was involved in multiple homosexual activities during the peak time of his career. There has been constant debate over the details of Dean's bisexuality, whether he was attracted to men a bit or exclusively, if he used sex simply to further his career, or maybe some combination of both. In 2016, a book called James Dean, Tomorrow Never Comes, says that Dean shared a secret relationship with fellow heartthrob Marlon Brando. The writers, Danforth Prince and Darwin Porter, have a reputation for making up stories about old Hollywood, but Joel Thurm's statement that most of the attendees in the 70s were gay at the party Dean likely attended has led people to believe that it is true. Number 5, Robert Reed. Robert Reed may be best known for his role as head of the house Mike Brady on The Brady Bunch, but like most of the actors, Reed kept his sexuality a close secret due to fear of damage to his career.
I've been taking female hormones. That's why I came home. I've completed the hormonal phase of sexual reassignment. And I want the surgical end of it performed at medical center. You telling me you want to become a woman?
In his memoir, Sex, Drugs, and Pilot Season, casting director Joel Thurm recollected memories of hookups he shared with Reed, and also said most of the attendees at industry parties in the 70s were gay. He was a person who loved cars, and unfortunately, his death was also caused by a car crash. Number 4, Kerwin Matthews. Kerwin Matthews is best known for his fantasy films like The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad and Octoman. Always kept his life in private. Though he has never publicly addressed his sexuality, Matthews lived with his partner, Tom Nickel, for over 46 years. Matthews moved to San Francisco and lived openly as a gay man after leaving Hollywood in the 1960s. He never wanted to expose his sexuality to anyone except those close to him, so his friends and colleagues who were close to him were well aware of his sexuality and his long-term relationship with Tom. Sadly, Kerwin passed away in the year 2007. Number 3, James Koko. James Koko, a character who is known for his comedic roles in movies like Only When I Laugh and When the Muppets Take Manhattan, was yet another actor who kept his private life hidden from the public. Koko never publicly came out as gay, but it was well known by his close colleagues and friends. His acting has made him a memorable personality in Hollywood. Koko died in 1987, leaving behind a history of comedic acting and serving as an inspiration to upcoming comedy actors.
Was it a love affair or a regular sex affair?
Both.
Hey, what the heck's going on here? Are you sure? Could you have been mistaken?
No, Jack, I had an affair.
Number 2, Josephine Baker. Josephine Baker is an international star and activist and is widely known for her bold performances and charisma. She found acceptance in Paris, and she openly expressed her bisexuality, embracing her relationships with both men and women. Apart from her sexuality, she fought against racial injustice. Her unapologetic life and fearless activism made her a symbol of both Black pride and LGBTQ+ representation. Number 1, Ma Rainey. Ma Rainey is known as the mother of the blues, and she was one of the first Black singers to openly discuss same-sex relationships in her music. Her song, Prove It on Me Blues, gave a hint to the relationship she had with women.
I'm on my way, crazy as I can be.
Her openness towards her sexuality has made her a trailblazer in both the music and LGBTQ+ community by inspiring generations with her authenticity. How about we have a bonus celebrity? It's Lorraine Hansberry. Lorraine Hansberry, the playwright of A Raisin in the Sun, was a trendsetter, not only in the theaters, but also in the LGBTQ+ activism.
Serious drama. Serious drama. Drama that has at least the objective of making a larger statement about life. I think sooner or later has to become involved in its time.
She's openly lesbian and has made a mark in fights against civil rights and women's rights, using her work to explore themes of race and identity. Her courage to speak out has made her a symbol of strength and one of the strongest women of the golden age of Hollywood.
Look at the work that awaits you. Write if you will, but write about the world as it is, and as you think it ought to be and must be. Work hard at it. Care about it. Write about our people. Tell their story.
Well, that's a wrap for today's video. I bet you guys would have been shocked to see these actors belong to the LGBTQIA+ community. Which of these stars surprised you the most, and which were the ones you knew? Comment your answer below. If you like our content, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the bell icon to watch the videos we upload instantly. Also, here's a shocking video that you must watch. 20 awful lesbian nasty secrets from the old golden age of Hollywood.